Hey, welcome everybody. It's so good to see so many of UCOM's faithful supporters and some new friends here for a virtual get together this evening. And what a lineup of exciting guests we have to entertain and inform us tonight. This will be a night celebrating delicious recipes, wonderful talent, and powerful stories of life changing impact. First of all, let me thank our sponsors for Let's Get Cooking: TCF Bank, Mercantile Bank, Hobby Recycling, Pilgrim Manor, Solomon Law, Mexo, the Essence Group, Amore Trattoria, Holy Name of Jesus Parish, and Rockford First Congregational United Church of Christ. Thank you. And our guest artists, Kid Kane, Sarita's Black Rose, Gabriela de la Vega, Axel Pringle Perfene, and Philip Pletcher. Bringing it all together is Grand Rapids' own award-winning talk show host, Shelley Irwin. Shelley, it's so good to have you join us for another stellar event.
Well, I am so excited, Bruce Solar. Thank you for this opportunity, you and your team. And we are in for an awesome, good time tonight. Looking forward to this in a virtual kind of way, which is great. The talents we're going to hear, but bottom line, the funds that are going to be raised for such an important cause, Bruce.
Indeed. Yeah, tonight, in addition to videos from our talented artists and chefs, we'll also hear from some of the people that make up UCOM. We'll talk about the ways volunteers and our neighbors benefit from being part of the UCOM family. We'll hear from people who know about the usefulness of our Eat Healthy, Live Healthy program that encompasses cooking, nutrition classes, farm stand, healthy choice, food pantry, gardening, and walking clubs, and other groups that keep us active. And of course, our Best Foot Forward, BFF, Workforce Development Initiative. We'll cast an eye back on UCOM's recent history and even get a preview of some areas we'll be expanding in the future. And you'll have lots of opportunities to keep our neighbors moving forward with their lives.
Wonderful. Of course, in the meantime, don't forget that silent auction. We're going to give you till 8 o'clock to keep your bidding up. As they say, bid high and bid offing. There is still plenty of time to register for that if this is the first time you're hearing of it, of course, and bid. You know, all of the auction donations go right back to fund the UCOM programs that make our neighbors happier, healthier, and more economically secure. And of course, you can make a donation anytime tonight. You'll hear us say that quite a few times, importantly so, and you'll be eligible to receive, of course, a fun thank you gift. Can't get enough of that. So you can do that through a variety of ways. How about through hand bid? You can also visit ucomgr.org or give us a call now. Liam is waiting for your call. So that's how to donate. We will continue reminding you of that. And now for our first video of the night, talk about entertainment, a self-professed funketeer she is, and Sarita Crowley of Sarita's Black Rose. She's a rock star. She's from Grand Rapids, Michigan. She brings a raucous mix of funk, rock, blues, neo soul, and Americana. Of course, Sarita, along with her partner, John Hayes, are at its core performing together for nearly 2 decades. That's 20 years. As an acoustic duo, they are dubbed. They play, of course, much of the timeless feel-good music. Don't we need that in these times? That's from the 60s and the 70s, of course. Everyone can enjoy that. Her fiery blues and soul infused vocals will shake the ground beneath you. So get ready, hold on. Sarita, of course, picks her music like she cooks her food. Get this, it has to be her taste, to her taste, and it tastes good. Without further ado, take it away.
Beautiful to me, you are beautiful, beautiful to me. Goes way way down deep. A beauty so strong. Sorry you can't see. You are beautiful, beautiful to me. You are beautiful, beautiful to me. Everybody needs love and affection. Some people need just a little bit more. When the world's on your shoulders, too much for you to bear, look up above, oh, know that you are loved. You are beautiful, beautiful to me. You are beautiful, beautiful to me. Goes way down deep. A beauty so strong. Sorry you just can't see. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You are beautiful, beautiful to me. You are beautiful, beautiful to me. You are beautiful, beautiful to me. You are beautiful, beautiful to me.
So my name is Ileana Lamberts, and I am the volunteer coordinator for Hope Network, the Work Skill Solutions. And our purpose for coming out to UCOM is to be a part of the community, to give back to the community. The importance for our clients is to be able to empower them so that they can become more professional. They can have better job skills because they learn many job skills here. And they can get out in the community and just be a part of the community, to be able to know that there's a lot of people in need that can use their skills. And it's been an amazing journey for me. I've been doing this for probably about 11 years for Hope Network, and I've been in partnership with UCOM for about probably 5 or 6 years, might be even more. But the results that I see with our clients is that they're excited to be here. They want to come. They are already asking me, when is it my turn to return again after the 10 weeks of the commitment that they commit with me to come here for 10 weeks. And they're looking forward to it every Thursday to come and sort clothing and hopefully meet clients and be able to assist with the needs of the clients. It's a wonderful partnership between Hope Network and UCOM, because we can partner up to empower not only our clients, who, even though they have special needs and challenges, but they have a lot to give, and they have a lot of responsibility that they feel that they can become more part of the community. They are learning that they can be empowered and be out here and help others.
Volunteering for the community is very important for me for a variety of reasons. One of the reasons is to offer to help the community and give back. Also help those in need. And honestly, it just creates a lot of positivity, energy for the community. So, and to make a big difference also for others and myself as well. Because it can help to develop new skills for myself, to build a new experience, and for sure, I know it will help for near the future. But yes, the volunteering, it's very important for each and every one of us to make a big difference.
My name is Bentley Keys. I was out of work, and I didn't know what my next move was, so I was referred to Betty Beth through one of those programs I was in, because I had just got out from being incarcerated. So we hit it off right then and there. She was very helpful, very informative, and to this day, I say to anybody, Betty Beth is the one that is a big sister, a mother figure, and anybody that has trouble and is sincere about what they're doing, she will help you. When I first met her, I was kind of nervous. I was kind of shy after doing all that time, to where I didn't want to ask nobody for nothing. But I was told, rather asked, to just give her a chance. After that, she tried to find jobs for me and everything else. After that, our bond became close. Because you always gonna need somebody. And I had to learn the hard way. But with Betty Beth, she made me realize I can't do this by myself in this world.
Well, Betty Beth, you have gotten a shout out. Good to you. Hey, here's a news alert. Live gala, here we are. You know, you can't bid and watch on the same screen. So here's what you have to do. Let's have you use 2 tabs if you can on your computer, because obviously the bidding is very important. So if you can get 2 devices or 2 tabs going, that should solve the problem. So thank you for that suggestion as we meander our way here. So 2 tabs, do it. Bid high and bid often. And of course, thank you very much for those many testimonies. Sarita and John, the work they do. That was an original song that you just heard. It expresses what we here at UCOM think of our donors, goodness gracious, volunteers, and the community. Truly beautiful, important to know. And thank you, of course, Ileana, Josue, and Bentley for your kind words, moved by your words. We all were about the impact UCOM has made on the people of our own West Michigan community. So now that you've heard, of course, some of the ways your support is making a difference, please continue to support. Give generously as you can during this event. We have goals to help people make their lives even better while we are working together to make better policies, living wages, anti-racism, and justice for all of us, certainly some of the major missions and goals. So here we are measuring. Let's see how we're doing tonight. Just in the beginnings, the throes of this, a financial success is the ultimate goal. Our goal for tonight is $30,000 to provide basic, that's just the basics of all needs, material needs, educational support. We know how important that is for thousands of our neighbors when the need is greatest. So we can get there if we all do what we must do. 15 minutes in, let's see that tote board, drum roll. How we do. We have raised $2,500 so far for our $30,000 goal. So obviously keep on giving. We are on a roll. Everything is riding on you and me and you and me and Bruce and me too. So there we are. So I'm going to bring you into the conversation, Bruce, if I may. Interesting that UCOM's spring fundraising event is called Let's Get Cooking. So what does that have to do with UCOM's mission?
Everything. I'm so glad you asked, Shelley, because for the past 5 years, UCOM's been making a concerted effort to focus on healthy foods and healthy lifestyle changes. Whether that means encouraging people to be more active through programs like our walking club, offering healthy food options in our Healthy Choice Pantry, And farm stand or teaching our neighbors and ourselves how to cook and eat healthier with our educational offerings. For some of us, there has definitely been a bit of a learning curve. With that increased focus on fostering a culture of health and with the support of UCOM's donors in making good foods more accessible, we now need to know some tips on how to use that garden fresh produce. So tonight, you'll hear from 3 local chefs and friends of UCOM who graciously donated their time and skills in creating delicious plant-forward dishes just for you. In addition to the wonderful videos you're about to see, UCOM's day-to-day cooking classes utilize as instructors our neighbors who receive a little stipend for sharing their expertise. When we're in person, those classes help our neighbors to learn new recipes and build community, all while getting to sample some delicious fare. I always get there in time for the sampling, and our instructors do a fantastic job, and can't wait to get back in person to be able to do those cooking nutrition classes.
Wonderful. So that sounds like a good way that you do so well, building relationships and continuing that going, as well as having obviously community members share skills with the neighbors and with the executive director. So you mentioned fresh produce. If I can pick your brain here, Bruce. So what are some of the ways that you actually use fresh produce that can be made accessible and, even more important, affordable?
Well, in addition to stocking lots of fresh produce in our Healthy Choice food pantry, UCOM's farm stand has food from local farms for half of the farm market price. Because of a gift from United Way and our generous donors who know that good nutrition leads to better health, we can pay the farmers full price, helping the local economy, while selling to our neighbors at half price. We even take the farm stand on the road to a couple of seniors complexes so that they can shop without even leaving home.
Nice. And I know you mentioned community supported agriculture. How does that work, Bruce?
Yeah, those CSAs, through a partnership with the Michigan Fitness Foundation, we're going to provide 30 families with boxes of fresh produce each week for 16 weeks at 75% off the farmer's price. The people just purchase a share with an EBT SNAP card and get $25 worth of fresh produce for $5. Now, this program has a potential to run at this point for 4 years, but then we hope to have more and more donors who will continue this great opportunity for a long time to come. And speaking of food, I'm always speaking of it or thinking about it. Speaking of food, let's hear from some of the folks who have firsthand experience with UCOM's healthy food offerings.
Hi, my name is Philip Holmes. I pastor the Hillcrest Community Church here in the area that is called the Black Hills. And I've been here almost 21 years in this area. And one of the programs that I interacted with shortly I came to this area was UCOM. And UCOM has been a very beneficial, vital, as well as valuable program in this area. Our church had started off with a pantry, and when I found out that UCOM was primarily the pantry in this area, I didn't think it was necessary for a church to really be the pantry, but rather to let UCOM serve the area, because we was coming to UCOM getting needs and things of that nature from UCOM. But then we realized that rather than serving two organizations serving the same community, we thought it best to just allow the more prominent organizations such as UCOM be the primary pantry for the area. And so the church then became non-active in that area. But we provided some deliveries, and we opened our doors in order to yet reach out to some of the people through UCOM. So, and working together in that wise, it has been very beneficial. UCOM is a very involved, concerned, passionate organization that really serves this area well. And with the boundaries that has almost expanded towards the greater southwest side of the city, and is doing a marvelous job in the number of people they serve on a daily basis.
The first time I came here, I learned about, I know about some friends. They come here usually, and they told me about UCOM. I want to say about UCOM because I say thank God every day, because for me, UCOM is everybody working here is like my family. They help me to support my family, and I appreciate that. They working very good for the whole community. That I'm part of the community too. I appreciate that. I appreciate everything they do. Especially pantry, fresh fruit, everything.
Siempre que te pregunto qué, cuándo, cómo y dónde, tú siempre me respondes, quizás, quizás, quizás. Y así pasan los días y yo desesperada, y tú contestando, quizás, quizás, quizás. Estás perdiendo el tiempo pensando, pensando por lo que tú más quieras. ¿Hasta cuándo? ¿Hasta cuándo? Y así pasan los días y yo desesperada, y tú contestando, quizás, quizás, quizás. Estás perdiendo el tiempo pensando, pensando por lo que tú más quieras. ¿Hasta cuándo? ¿Hasta cuándo? Y así pasan los días y yo desesperada, y tú contestando, quizás, 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 quizás.
Hello, this is Chef Oscar from Mexico. Today I'm going to share with you a recipe for salsa verde. This recipe will be good for this summer. We're going to be using a few ingredients. This time I'm using poblano pepper, but you guys can substitute this with bell peppers if you don't like the heat. I'll be using serrano peppers, tomatillos. Usually they come with a husk, and then you peel those and rinse them. Spanish onion. I'm going to be using cilantro, mint, grapeseed oil, and salt. And this recipe is actually very simple. We're just going to caramelize it in the saute pan, and then we're going to blend it, and then you have green salsa. And this salsa, you can use it in like grilled chicken. You can make enchiladas with it, or you can just eat it with chips. So I'm going to get going here with the onions. And I'm going to be sharing the recipe also in mexogr.com. If you guys want this recipe, it's super simple. You guys can go to mexogr.com and then get the recipe. So I got onions here, and then we're going to be cutting our tomatillos in half. And then we're going to be using one poblano pepper for this recipe. Take the seeds off. I'm going to be using a whole poblano. So I have 1 pound of tomatillos, and then we're gonna use 1 serrano. If you don't like heat, you can skip the serrano, just skip the poblano. Or if you don't like heat at all, then just do bell pepper. But you can still use the rest of the ingredients. I got 1 ounce of the grapeseed oil, and then we got our poblano peppers and serranos. And basically we can add everything to our pan right here. And we're gonna cook it down, add some salt to taste. And then the cilantro and the mint, we're gonna add it at the end. So we get the freshness of the mint. So this is a very simple recipe, and you can do a lot of things with it. You can heat it with ribs, pork ribs, it's up to you. If you grill it or smoke it, you can just add the sauce on top and then cook it down a little bit more. And it'll be a good choice for a different meal. Or if you want to make enchiladas, you can, roll some chicken and tortillas and then just put this sauce on top. It's super refreshing. You can just swap the onions and the rest of the vegetables, tomatillos and green peppers, and then and get them translucent, the onion, and then we have simple salsa verde or green salsa. And the heat, you guys can add more peppers or less. If you don't like heat, then just keep it straight poblano. So we're gonna blend. Super easy to make. We're going to be using like a little bit of mint. So sometimes we grow mint in our garden, we don't know what to do with it. This is a good alternative of freshness in our salsas. So I like to use mint in this salsa, and it tastes really good. So we're using half a bunch of cilantro, and the cilantro we're going to be using the stems and everything. So just add it. You don't need to add water or anything. So perfect. So we got salsa verde right here. There you go. Salsa verde. Easy to make.
Oh my word, let's get cooking, and we are. Woo, let's have some salsa verde, and I'll be the first in line. Wonderful job, of course. Thanks to Chef Oscar for his talents, showing us that. And of course, special thanks to all of the outstanding sounds of Gabriela de la Vega. She's a rock star. Of course, Philip Pletcher, we know his talents. Most inspiring of all, the words of the people who know the impact that your donation makes on real lives, again, on our neighbors' lives. Are you ready to see the progress we are making toward our financial goals? That's what it's all about. Numbers don't lie. So I'm going to have the magic button pushed. Let's see that tote board again to see where we are. Oh my goodness gracious, drum roll again. The tote board, we are up to $5,250. There's a lot of souls being touched by that, but we still have a goal to meet. So there we are. Thank you. Those donations, please keep them flowing in. Every dollar that you give tonight certainly helps your neighbors build their lives. Now we introduce you to Wendy Randall, president of the UCOM Board of Directors. She has a very special award presentation.
Well, I am thrilled to be in the presence of two amazing women this evening. I am happy to share some space with Betsy Dole, who is our founding president of the board of directors for UCOM, really starting this work back in 1985, initiating UCOM as a formal organization and being involved at the grassroots level to how services are provided and how we build a community within a neighborhood with so much need. And of course, my the other role model in this space this evening is Maureen Downer, who was my predecessor as board president when I took over this role back in January. And Maureen served many years in that role as president of the UCOM board, really providing so much leadership and so much passion for this work. So we're here to celebrate. And like I said, I'm honored to be in the presence of these women who have done so much for this organization. So to kick off that celebration, I'm going to hand it over to Betsy.
Okay, and I must say that I'm on a weak Wi-Fi signal, so I may go in and out, but that's my Wi-Fi signal. We'll just cross our fingers. Technology is wonderful when it works. So at any rate, in 1985, when I worked with a small group of people to establish UCOM, I had a vision that UCOM would be more than a food pantry and a clothing outlet, which it was at the very start. And of course, we got into children after school at tutoring for children. But I wanted it to be even more than that. I had a vision that it could become a human service agency that would serve the neighborhood in many, many ways. And a wonderful thing occurred, I think, when UCOM boards hired Bruce Roller to become the creative executive director. And another wonderful thing happened in 2007 in December when a woman named Maureen Downer came on the board, and what a gift she has been to this organization. Little did she know that she would become president of UCOM the following year and serve UCOM in that role for 12 years. And folks, she remains on the UCOM board at least through the end of this year. And who knows after that, eh, Maureen?
I hear you, Betsy.
Well, I'm very proud of what UCOM has been able to do. And Maureen, you have been quiet, persistent, confident, loyal, committed presence, supporting Bruce Roller and the staff and leading the board through, I am sure, many rather difficult decisions and questionable times. But through it all, UCOM has survived, and largely because of your work, Maureen. So I have to say that I have to look at my notes here, 2010, Bruce Roller came to me and he said the UCOM board wanted to honor me. And I said, well, don't give me something that sits around or a gift certificate to Neiman Marcus or whatever. Don't give me anything. Why don't you establish a community service award? And he said, we can do that. And we'll call it the Betsy Dole Community Service Award. Well, I am pleased to say that tonight we are awarding that to you, Maureen Downer.
Oh,
and you are the second person to receive this award. Now, we are all here virtually, so we can't give hugs and we couldn't even shake hands. But I can show you the award, which I received in 2010. And it's a beautiful, beautiful large award with a very special carving, which mimics, that's not the right word, but it reflects the UCOM logo. So this will be This will be presented to you at the appropriate time, Maureen. I'm pleased to be the one to present it to you.
Oh, thank you, Betsy and Wendy. This is a surprise, and it's very much appreciated. The work I've done with UCOM has not been for any particular recognition. It's just because it was work that I knew needed to be done, and I thought I could bring some talents to it. So the fact that anybody recognizes that's quite an honor. Thank you.
I think there are many, many, many of us who recognize that you are very deserving of this honor. And Wendy and I are thrilled to be here to present it to you this evening.
Well, that makes all the going through the technology stuff worth it. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I might go ahead, Wendy.
I just want to say congratulations, and what a shining example you are to community service. You really have done so much for this organization and for the neighbors of UCOM. And it's an honor to be here and to see you recognized and celebrated in this way, Maureen.
Oh, thank you, Wendy. I really believe in UCOM, and I believe in the work that it does, especially because it brings people together. For me, that's a big deal. So that everybody's on the team, everybody gets to play a part. Nobody's higher than the other guy, and we're all about solving problems. So I'm very pleased to do that kind of work, and I would hope to continue. I don't need to be the president of the board or anything. I just am happy to do the work.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Betsy, for making that presentation, and also for the leadership that you have provided over decades now, and the continued friendship that we have between you and your family and UCOM. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Wendy and Betsy. Maureen has been such a valuable asset to UCOM and so passionate about the mission, about all of our neighbors. I thought it was ironic when I asked her about the high points of her tenure as president of the board. Had nothing to do with strategic plans and all those president kind of things. All 10 things she named were events and programs that were started or expanded for our neighbors. Maureen, it's been a pleasure working with you. And I agree with Betsy. We look forward to your continued involvement with UCOM for a long time to come. Ooh. Wow, look at the time. We are about halfway through our evening already. Remember, our silent auction will be closing promptly at 8 this evening, so get those bids in now. And now it's my very special honor to introduce Erica Kid Kane Thompson. Erica is the first Black woman and openly queer person to be appointed Poet Laureate of Grand Rapids. Kid is a self-taught visual artist, curator, arts educator, and most importantly, a beacon of peace and love, born and raised in Michigan. Now, the upcoming video is absolutely beautiful and shattering, and it contains some language and some images that might be triggering for some people. So be aware of that. And here is the spoken word poetry of Kid Kane, Awaken.
To know your history is everything, no matter who you are, especially Black, because you're constantly being told that you were nothing but a slave.
They want us to be conscious to the nonsense, but blind to the truth, so they brainwash us with bullshit so that our past is overlooked. It's time we wake up. Yes, it's time we break up with the rule of law that's been designed to make our very existence a fatal flaw. So I say to you all, awaken. We've been asleep and slept on for far too long. stripped of who we were so we can't understand who we are. Misguided and misled, so sadly most of us don't make it very far. We don't have to be who they say or made us believe that we are, you know. Thugs, prisoners, criminals, niggas, hoes, or bitches. Our people were once kings, queens, spiritual beings with riches far greater than the almighty dollar. Yet we scream, fight, and holler with our own over just that money. And it's funny because we don't do it to gain assets. We do it to buy designer fashions and help major corporations cash fat checks. But despite our own ignorance, we are not the only ones to blame. They like to make it seem as if how we live and the decisions that we make are a choice, when all the while they set us up to fail. Kill us, beat us, throw us in jail, and turn a blind eye, of course. They took our people, our culture, our names, our land, and our voice, and replaced it with shame, pain, struggle, using systematic tactics and brutal force. Plagued our communities with HIV, AIDS, heroin, crack cocaine. Gave our sons guns, then blame us and shame us for all of those slain. Most of us never stood a chance. Horrible education, shitty living situation, misrepresentation. The growth of the black race has never been an obligation to our nation. Dying to throw us in prison or send us to an early grave. They've gotten rid of plantations, but most of us are still slaves. Slaves to addiction, slaves to materialism, slaves to ignorance, slaves to false religion. They want us to be conscious to the nonsense, but blind to the truth. So they brainwash us with bullshit so that our past is overlooked. It's time now we wake up. It's time now we break up with the rule of law that's been designed to make our very existence a fatal flaw. So I say to you all, awaken. They've taken way too much from our people and we've allowed it. So it's time to infiltrate the system, remove the divide and increase the knowledge of our history so that we are able to grow, unite, and conquer. Please make it make sense and stop living like the struggle of blacks in this country is in the past tense. Asking questions like, well, do you think racism still exists? What kind of question is this? Is the sky blue? Don't continue to live their lie. Find you so you'll never have to hesitate when they ask, who are you? Who are you?
No one began as a slave. That's not what God put you here for.
Wow. Yeah, as always, Kid Kane's words stir me to strive more toward being anti-racist. At UCOM, we're committed to centering racial justice and equity in all the work we do and all the relationships we build. It's only together that we can create a community where everyone can thrive. Now let's hear from some more neighbors who know the power of building community with UCOM.
First thing, I'm David Oddie, and I've been coming to the UCOM for the Garden Club for the last at least 7 years. And what I like about it, I mean, there's some things that I've learned that I didn't know, where you've got to put your tomato plants in the ground, and the roots have to be to the south so that they will grow. I didn't know that. Sometimes we've had people come in here and from Michigan State and would give us help with certain bugs that we got to watch for, like the little butterflies that fly underneath and leave pellets that with things that make a problem for your plants. They've taught us on how to find out we got good soil or bad soil. They even have people that come from UCOM that knows a little bit about it to my house, because I don't do a garden club or the garden here on in the Marquette Park. I do it at my house. So right now, from what I've learned in the past 7 years, I've been growing my garden in the house. I started about March, and I now put worms in my basement in a square container where the plants are in their individual pods, and I have worms that don't crawl out, because they could crawl out, but they don't crawl out. I do have, I did go on eBay and pick up a light, not a big light, but just a light that can shine on it, like, because it's in the basement where it's cool where at night it goes dark, and in the morning then I plug it in, so it's like it's I'm outside. So my plant is growing, and I took some pictures, but it's not what I could show you pictures. But that's other what we do too. We would take pictures of our plants if people are tomatoes that are got spots on them, and other people can explain, oh, I got them spots, but I had spots like this before, but this is what we did. With not having the garden club, I wouldn't have known all this. So I've enjoyed it so much, and I hope they don't get rid of it. It just, I have fun with it.
My name is Amber, and me and my two boys have been volunteering and coming to UCOM for the last 3 years. We volunteer in different areas here together as a family, which has been awesome because it gives them a sense of compassion for the people around us and not just when we need help ourselves. And they look so forward to coming in here and helping put boxes together. And we have worked in the community garden together, which has been awesome in many ways. We can grow our own food for our own family, which we've also learned how to can at home and preserve that food that we grew this last year, but also to donate some of the food that we grew and help grow for the UCOM boxes and bring in here so that other people in our community can benefit from that as well. I think it's preparing them for the real world and what the real world needs. We need more compassion and caring people in the world, and if they are experiencing this now, then I'm a firm believer that if there's more people doing right, that we can change the world. And I love that my boys want to be part of that, and that UCOM gives us the opportunity for them to experience that, not just me as an adult, but for them to experience that as well.
Hi, Chef Jeremy Paquin here with the Essence Restaurant Group. How exciting is it that spring is here? It's one of my favorite times of year to cook with my favorite ingredients. Today we're going to be highlighting some spring ingredients such as asparagus. We're going to use some field peas. We're going to do a simple, light dish that you can cook at home. So come join me as we cook pasta primavera featuring spring vegetables. First thing you want to do is get your pan on medium-high heat. Put a little olive oil in there. Then we're going to add our butter. About a tablespoon. And let that start get going. As you can see, it's melting. I like to use a combination of oil and butter. That way it doesn't burn. Such a simple dish. After that, we're going to go over to our asparagus here. First of the season. We're really excited about this. Just put a little bit of that in there. I cut them very thin. That way we sped up the cook time. It'll cook very fast. We're going to grab a little bit of our peas. Oh, I love peas. My absolute favorite ingredient. Give those a little toss. Trying to get them to soften. We're not trying to get a lot of color on them. I'll grab a little spring onion here. Put that in there. As you can see, I sliced them very thin. That way they soften up and kind of become translucent. Give that a good toss. Let that sit for about 3 to 4 minutes. A little salt, kosher salts. Use kosher. It's much better. It's easier to handle. It's got bigger granules. A little black pepper. After this has been sauteing for about 3 to 4 minutes, you're going to want to add your garlic. You don't want to add your garlic at the beginning because it'll burn, and that's not what we want to do. Everything will taste very bitter. So as we're getting sauteed here, there you are. Everything's kind of starting to come together. Like I said, not a lot of color. You just want it to soften, everything to soften. Then we'll add our garlic. As you can see, I've minced the garlic super fine. Want to mix that in. You're going to let it go for about a minute at this point, making sure that you're stirring so that the garlic doesn't burn. While that last bit is finishing, we're going to use spaghetti. This is fresh pasta. This is only going to take about 2 minutes to cook. If you're using dried pasta, it'll probably take about 7 minutes. Put it in my little pasta pot here. It's just water that I heavily salted. You want the salt level to taste like the ocean, like the sea. That cook, give it a little twirl. Excellent. Okay. Still giving it a toss. Looks good. Everything's good. Garlic's cooked out. Now, being such a simple dish, we're going to take some of our pasta water and use that as our sauce. Make a little bit of it. Perfect. That cooked down a little bit. Wonderful. Then we're going to grab a little Parmesan Reggiano. A couple tablespoons. More if you like. It's entirely up to you. A little fresh flat leaf parsley. A little chive that I cut very, very, very fine. Once again, with all the ingredients, add as much as you would like. You know, if you like a little more onion, fine. If you want it all asparagus, you can leave stuff out as well. Make it simple, make it to your liking, make it fun. There we are, that's starting to go. How's our pasta? Let's see. You want your pasta al dente, so you want a little tooth to it, a little chew. That's perfect. A little more water. And it's pasta water, so it's already got the starch in it. It's going to come together as your sauce. There we are. And rather than adding cream, I have a little creme fraiche, which is essentially sour cream. You can use sour cream at home. Kind of finish your dish. Let's give that a little toss. I forgot the pasta in. Toss, toss. Excellent. You see how the sauce started to come together? And you'll see that the pasta water will allow you to do that. So if it's too thin, let it cook down a little more. If it's too thick, add a little more of your starchy pasta water. I'm going to add a little more cheese. Let's see here. There it is. Coming together. You want it all to kind of come together. Beautiful. Now, obviously, this pasta also works with any other ingredients. So if you have some other favorite vegetables that you want to use those. Just follow the kind of the same method and it'll all come together. So if you're in summer vegetables, then you can switch over to summer, but use the same technique and the same method. All right, we're ready to plate. And to finish the dish, I'm going to just take the rest of my Parmesan Reggiano, throw that on top. I'll put a few more chives back on there. And there you have it, spring vegetable pasta primavera. Super simple, easy to prepare. I hope you enjoy and I hope you make it at home.
Oh my word, Chef Jeremy, you make that look easy. Yes, that I'm going to make a note of that. Pasta primavera, easy to prepare, and obviously choose what you like. You going to give it a try? I hope so. Here we are, inspired obviously by the previous poetry and the other stories. It's back to storytelling. People that are controlling their own lives and of course moving forward with determination. Let's focus on, speaking of determination, we're determined to, of course, reach that ambitious goal. Here we are. It's been a while since we've seen the numbers. This is a fundraiser, so we are back on track, of course, to do just that. Thanks for giving so generously, moving the numbers up, of course, on the tote board so that UCOM can be present for more of your neighbors, our neighbors, than ever. So at any time during this event, there are your contact information. There it is with your phone numbers, your websites, of course, ucomgr.org, or through the hand bid site. So drum roll again. What is that new number? Here we go, looking at the tote board for those dollars of support to $12,325. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's awful happy there. So every dollar counts, and it does go to the mission of UCOM. So thank you very much. Here again is someone you absolutely want to get to know. Wendy, back with us. She has some indicators of what is next. What would you like to see UCOM doing the next several years?
Good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be with so many friends of UCOM for this gathering and celebration. I am Wendy Randall, the current president of the UCOM Board of Directors, and I am honored to support the work of UCOM in our community. As many of you know, UCOM's values are community, faith, and respect. Embedded in this is a value for the health of our land and its people. For the last 4 decades, emergency food providers have been the main response to hunger and food insecurity. But a charity food system focused on security and relief cannot address deep injustices in the food system, remedy health disparities, or grow community-driven solutions. UCOM is committed to the good food movement, believing that all people, regardless of socioeconomic status, should have access to healthy options that are fair, green, and affordable. UCOM strives to provide nutritious food for all. Special programs offer local produce from small farms in an equitable, non-charity model. We recognize that good nutrition and the power of nutritional education transforms lives. We work with our neighbors to create a culture of health, empowering individuals to eat healthy and be healthy. We encourage you to join us in this work. Through your contributions and support, we are making good food available in neighborhoods with limited access and ensuring that residents have choice and can contribute to a vibrant and diverse local food economy. Now is the perfect time to call or go online to make your donation. Now let's take a moment to hear more of the experiences of our neighbors, expressing why this work is so important to them and how UCOM has impacted their lives.
One of the things that's really helped me was both the CSA program and the farm stand program. And the farm stand program has just been a real godsend to me to be able to get foods that most of the foods that I can afford to buy on my own are carbohydrates, which are very not good for my health. And the farm stand makes me getting real food affordable enough that I can afford to get it. And one of the things that they've been able to do is to help find foods that I like, number one, but also like unusual and strange foods. Like when I was a kid, my grandmother used to get these big, what they called a blue Hubbard squash, and they're about the size of a giant frozen turkey. And they managed to get a couple of them for me to make for the holidays, as opposed to eating things that I really shouldn't eat. The squash is something that I was able to, that tasted good and brought back a lot of childhood memories. And they've been, before the pandemic, they had a lot of classes associated with the farm stand and the CSA program to teach you how to cook and prepare foods that you would have never picked up on your own. You didn't know what they were, or they're from a different culture. And they made that in a way that is accessible to people that didn't know anything, and by combining different cultures and stuff all together so that you will learn from the other people, that everybody taught everybody and everybody learned from everybody. And it was something that was kind of changed my way of looking at all of the culture and everything around me in a way that was pretty amazing.
I used to cook, UCOM. You can find items that is healthy for you and easy. You can eat healthy with a lot of vegetables, and they have grains, they have all kind of stuff. So I was teaching people how to make healthy food, and everybody was excited to make it, and everybody try my food and they like it. So they want me to continue, but it was only we take turns. It was another lady. She take turn like 5 times, 4 times. Another guy. So it was fun. A lot of people like it, and they asked me, when are you going to continue? Well, not only me, also the other girl and the other guy, because they like it. They have the ideas. They have items in here that people sometimes they don't know how to use it. So we try to give them ideas, like how to prepare certain things. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Chef Jenna from Amore. I wanted to show you a couple really easy ideas for a veggie forward meal. We're going to talk a little bit about how we can make it keto or gluten-free, but also all the pasta if that's what you want. I really want to teach you how to make the most simple tomato sauce, and in Italy they call it pomodoro. Here we just call it tomato sauce. So I'm going to show you how easy and how inexpensive it is to cook for your family quickly and healthily. And this is what we eat at home. This is my recipe I use. My girls know how to make it already. So we're starting with a pan on your stove, and we'll just do a saute, just like that. And then we're gonna use some really nice olive oil. You can see it's a little bit green. We'll talk about olive oil quickly. It should be in a tin for the best kind of olive oil, or in a dark bottle so the light doesn't hit it. That keeps it safe and delicious. So we're gonna put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the bottom of our pan here, and we're going to add a diced onion, just a small onion diced, okay? And this is gonna be so easy, you're not even gonna believe it, and it's inexpensive. So what I'm doing is just adding those onions in and stirring them in with my olive oil, and we're gonna get them to where they're see-through and a tiny bit brown, but not totally brown or black, because that'll change the flavor of it, and no one wants burnt tasting pomodoro sauce, okay? So it's starting to smell amazing, and a lot of people ask where the garlic is, and you know what? Crazy, they don't use as much garlic as you think in Italy. This is just onion, no garlic in this sauce at all. Now, if you're a fan of garlic, go ahead and add it, but I'm staying true to my mother-in-law's sauce here. So that's what we're doing. We're sauteing this up beautifully. It's starting to smell so good in here. And like I said, if you're cooking at home, you can start your pasta water right now so it's nice and ready with a boil before our sauce is done. So also, quick note, while you're cooking pasta, always salt the water to where it tastes like the sea. And that means it's got to be really, really salty. Take a spoon, try it. If it tastes salty, you're in the right place. So we're getting close on our onions here. We're sweating our onions. And it's starting to smell really, really nice. And I'm gonna, in about maybe 1 more minute on these, and then we're gonna toss in crushed tomatoes. Now you can get a can of crushed tomatoes at any supermarket. One of my favorite is Cento, C-E-N-T-O. That's what we like to use at home. But really anything works. This is just crushed tomato, okay? So we're almost there on our onions. And you don't want to walk away because that means you're going to probably burn them. So we're just stirring them a little bit more. And getting them where we want them to be, okay? So far, 2 ingredients, onions and olive oil, right? Okay, this is a 5-ingredient sauce. That's all we're doing is 5 ingredients, so I know you can handle it. Now that my onions are see-through and starting to get a tiny bit brown, I'm gonna throw this tomato sauce in. Be careful because it'll splash. I'm gonna jump back a little bit because that pan is hot. Okay, it's starting to bubble a little bit. So I'm stirring that 16-ounce can in here. Now what I'm going to do is stir this up and put, this is ingredient number 3, I'm going to put ingredient number 4 in next. And ingredient number 4 is fresh basil. And when I say fresh basil, I mean fresh. I don't want that crusty stuff that's in your cabinet that's dried out. We're going to use fresh basil, okay? Spices should only be in your cabinet for 6 months or less, and we know how that goes, right? So get yourself some fresh basil, and I'm just going to pick it off here. And then I'm just gonna kind of tear it and put it in. I love basil, so the more the better. So, okay, ingredient 1, olive oil, 2, onion, 3, tomato, 4, basil, and that means there's only 1 ingredient left, and we're done with our homemade pomodoro. You're gonna be surprised at how delicious it is. We're not adding any extra sugar that you might get in a pre-made jar. And you're going to be surprised at how delicious this is. We just eat it by the spoonful at our house. So this is ready to go, you guys. And I am just going to put a little bit of salt. I'm going to taste it first and see if it needs any. And this is how chefs eat. They just eat right off the spoon. So I think it needs a little bit of salt. So all I'm going to do is put some fresh sea salt, freshly grated sea salt right in there. Just grate it up as much as you want. Stir it back up. Okay? That was a 5-minute, 5-ingredient tomato sauce that you can make easily anytime. I know you have 5 minutes in your day that you can do this for your family. And it's gonna cost you probably less than $6 to feed 4 family members. So you do the math, that's amazing, right? If you love pasta like we do, I just get a box of pasta. They're usually $1.50 or so right now. Sometimes you can get them for $1 on a sale. Also, if you're not doing carbs right now, which some people aren't, you can use, I just cut some zucchini up into little, like, you can make zucchini fettuccine, you know, that's what this is. Or you can use fresh asparagus right now. You can saute that in a pan with a little salt and pepper, and this can be your pasta. So I think you can all handle it, right? A 5-minute pasta sauce. The pasta takes about 11 or 12 minutes to cook. So in about 10 to 12 minutes, you can cook a meal for 4 for under $6. How do you feel about that? I want to hear if you use this recipe. I want you to come see me in Amore and tell me that you saw it, and we'll chit chat about how delicious it was and how you're just going to eat it right off with a spoon instead of even putting it on any pasta. That's what we do at our house. So anyways, good luck. Have a great time cooking in the kitchen. The more time we spend at the table with our family, the better. Sending love to you all. Ciao. Have a great night.
Ah, quel dîner je viens de faire et quel vin extraordinaire. J'en ai tant bu, mais tant que je crois bien que maintenant je suis un peu grise, mais chut, faut pas qu'on le dise, chut, faut pas. Si ma parole est un peu vague, si tout en marchant je zigzague, et si mon œil est aigrial, il ne faut s'en étonner, car je suis un peu grise, mais chut, faut pas qu'on le dise, chut. Faut pas.
Thank you. Thank you, Axel and Phil. What a fun way to bring to a close a fantastic evening. I feel a little tipsy myself from the generous giving during tonight's Let's Get Cooking event. It takes many people bringing lots of talents and skills to the table to be a community that speaks to justice, equity, inclusion, and economic stability every day.
You bet. I smell Jenna's onions, even this place here. Hey, special thanks, of course, to all of you, but particularly our sponsors of the event. You know how important that is. Let me share their names again. TCF Bank, Mercantile Bank, Hobby Recycling, Pilgrim Manor, Solomon Law, Mexo, the Essence Group, Amore Trattoria, of course, Holy Name of Jesus Parish, and Rockford First Congregational United Church of Christ. And of course, all the fine businesses that have come together, individuals in our own community that have shared their dollars, donated items for the online auction. Bruce?
And a million thanks to you, Shelley, for hosting us, and to the artists who contributed their talents to this event, as well as to all who donated and purchased from the auction and were here to support your neighbors. It's really exciting. Now, if you just couldn't pull yourself away from the information and entertainment tonight to pledge or give, you may still go online at our website at ucomgr.org or call the phone line. Also, this program will be available on UCOM's YouTube channel for you to view or to show to your friends on demand. Okay, drum roll, please. Let's see that final number for this hour of giving, inspiration, and fun. Here's the tote board. Whoa, wonderful. What a grand and glorious evening. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. You can't beat the audience, a fantastic audience.
Absolutely. Great example of a caring community.
Yeah. On that, good night, everybody.
Thank you all for being present, for your neighbors. Thank you for your support. Thank you for hosting, Shelley. Stay safe. Be well.